Hello, I'm John Joe, this is Line War, and this is the second part of the picking phase, sort of trying to choose where the enemy is going to be and getting the advantage early on. So, I'm Red, we're down here, we're against Solo once again, as is the previous one, where I predict correctly where he's going to be. And this is, I think, the second match I actually played against him. He's a great guy, we were talking about picking phases throughout this time. And I obviously had a good location down in the South Island here. But he also had a good location in the South Island here. I assumed he thought that I might start here, and with my rush through a forest last time, he probably wouldn't pick it. As you can see, I was wrong. He's picked up here, he's got energy, he's got a city. It's actually his best location to win long term. But I thought he might go for the bigger island, assuming I'd start somewhere else. So let's take off Fog of War. And as you can see, I've gone all in on a rush up north. My logic is that even if it fails, I will capture a large territory because he won't be here. I'll capture all of this island very quickly. I can demo a few barracks and then try my best to recoup the sea by taking over this area, which you can only really access through this choke point or going round, but not many people actually do go round the map. So I was hoping to be able to build up in this area and then push through this choke point by defending it. So, at this point, I don't know where Solar is. So this is all I can see. Obviously, I can still see him, I think. Yeah, I can still see him. So if I turn that off, this is literally all I can see. I have no idea where he is. If he started up here, he'd still be expanding to about here, and I don't have any knowledge on whether he's actually there or whether I was right or wrong yet. So we'll have to see if I figure it out. If I turn on commands for both players, you can see what he's planning. So he's going for an expanse on his island, but not too much. He's getting a barrack set up now. But he's got 3 navy yards straight away. He's getting some eco up. And he's getting his energy going, which he has some on land, which is brilliant for him. And he's getting some transport boats straight away. He's going to expand to this quick island here with some units. And he's going for this island over here. He's going for the trade route, strangely. He's going to try and get this town up and running. Me, on the other hand, because I'm here, my shroud's probably here. At this point, I've probably figured out that he's likely not here, because if I've expanded 1, maybe 2 territories forward, and he picked this location, he should be at least here. And I should see this trying to change. If not, maybe even here. So, at this point, I'm under the suspicion that I've probably not got this down yet. So my logic now is I need energy, and I don't have any yet. So I'm going to get some territory, not territory, I mean energy. This energy well here is something that's high priority for me. But I also want this one very quickly as well. I do have more. There is one on this island here, on the mountain here. But I'm a bit concerned that it's too close to the water. And if he does have a higher navy presence than me, then he's going to be able to take that out pretty easily. And I can't defend it. So I get up a navy yard, I'm demoing, well, I stopped production on some first, which I should have demoed some of these earlier, but there we go. You can hear it going now. I've got 3 being demoed now. I leave 4 up. In the future, I'm probably going to leave less up and running, probably leave 2 up and running, and then just take out the rest. But yeah, my next move is to try and take over this island over here. Sorry if it seems a bit fast and jarring. I'm just trying to move in a faster mode. Over here, he has started to take over the island. This actually gives me his location. So if I slow it down a little, turn on Fog of War, take him away, I can see him now. And at this point, I've already spotted him. I know where he's coming in from. I can see the boats moving in like this. Whereas if he was starting on this top island, which I think was an option, I can't remember, or on this island, I know this was an option for him, I would have already met resistance here. So I know he didn't start there. His best option was probably to start here, so I knew exactly where he was, just by where he attacked. If he started in the north area, he would have taken over this location for the energy. And to get to this choke point quicker, to defend in the mountains, and stop me getting in there. Giving him more land to control. So, on the engagement down here, because I went mass infantry, it's going to be a lot harder for him to take over this island. So that's another advantage. I have a defensive bonus of the entire island with my forces there. So I'm going to take off Fog of War again. We can see he's struggling with energy despite having 2 up and running already. He's got a 3rd one coming as well, so it seems like he's got a good lot now. I swear that was smoking for a second. It doesn't look like it should have been though. But he does have quite a few missile ships moving in, and I've only just started building my navy, which isn't good, but I'm also trying to build up some eco, which I probably should have waited for. I should have set up my navy yards and then gone for the eco. I'm not really sure. Well, to be fair, judging by what happens, yes, I probably should have done that. But I am trying to just get more units on this island because I'm worried he's going to try and invade on this side over here. But I have pretty much taken over the island now. Just got a few things up here going. And I've got an energy well being built there, which is my first one. And I'm running out of energy because I already have energy units and they're moving on haste mode. Because I wanted to get away from these missile ships. I don't know if he spotted the boat, but he's definitely going for this energy well over here first. I think he was worried that I might have it and he was just trying to take out my energy. But he does find my little town. I was trying to get this trade route set up with 2 trade routes. That's some good eco. With this boat, because I'm being attacked, I send it to this island. At least I can take some units. I can always send them over after. He does take out my town. I'm going to slow it back down now. And I only have 1 cruiser left, but I got another one coming in. So I retreat it to try and join in at the same line so they can present a force together. So I bring them in a bit closer. And they're going to try and re-attack now, and this destroyer is going to reinforce in a bit. Over here, I've tried to keep them a bit spread out. Got some other spots over there to defend the island, give me some vision over the ocean. And as you can see, some of these missile boats are going for the infantry on this little island, which gives my cruisers a bit of an advantage here when they're fighting just 1 unit there. But one of my cruisers is heavily damaged. But this is kind of a 3 versus... how many do you have? 6, maybe? Luckily, cruisers are much more effective at taking out ships than missile ships, but when they're outnumbered, they are still outnumbered. Just like with the infantry and tanks we saw in the previous video. Doesn't matter which one's better, if you've got more of them, it's going to take them out. So instead of going down here again, I'm actually bringing in some units onto this top section. And then I've got more units cutting across there. But only my destroyers left now. So even with just 3 or 4 missile boats that he had there, he took out 2 cruisers. At least 1 was heavy damaged. And 1 destroyer is just left to fight 2. And they're not far off, but equally matched, to be fair. Destroyers are designed to kill submarines, but not ships. And missile boats are designed to kill air units, not ships. But he's got some more air units coming in. So I've no anti-air units. So I have noticed he hasn't got any destroyers. So instead, I'm going to focus on these submarines because I'm likely assuming that he's going for anti-air and cruiser combination rather than adding in any destroyers. Whereas I'm going to go with subs and cruisers. Might add the odd destroyer just in case subs do appear. But he doesn't actually have any subs yet. I possibly should have mixed in some missile ships because I should have expected some air units. But I can't remember if I actually do, so we'll have a look. Now, I should have took over these territories a bit earlier, but I was worried about the threat of these units being so close to this trade route, and I really wanted to get this trade route set up. Getting that income boost is exactly what I need right now to get back in the game. He is ahead of me, or at least I think he is. We'll have a quick look. He's definitely got a better production line than I do, but he's got a city up and running. I am on 1,032 income per minute. He's on 1,100, so I'm actually not that far behind. And I think that's partly because I have more land than he does. Which is also why I did the infantry rush. They take over the land really fast, give me that eco boost early, if I'm wrong. So that's kind of like my risk assessment on that strategy. But either way, my infantry are heavily damaging 1 ship for these guys to come in and take out. Oh, I do have a missile boat, look. I am smart for once. So I do manage to take out over most of this island. We're getting about halfway now with just a few units. And I have a boat left over, so I'm just kind of building up my energy supply. I have 2 energy wells. And Solar has 3, I think. Yes, and he's got some energy storage, which is definitely something I need to make more use of on these types of maps. But he's got a lot of boats coming in down this way. He's definitely focused on trying to get to this choke point, which, as am I. As long as I can defend it, the worst case scenario, I just go around. If he does try and block me in. And I also desperately want to get this little boat out, which is going to cut it close against these cruisers, to be fair. He's on haste mode, so he's going a bit fast, but he's already going to be in range on this line. So I'm trying to put subs in front of any units coming into this area, because if anything tries to sneak through, they might get a few damages done before my main navy approaches. But these cruisers are going to be trying to take on that boat. There is some helicopters attacking these infantry, which I'm leaving there to try and defend this area. They can't really attack helicopters. They can, but not very well. But the helicopters are wasting their ammo on my units, which I don't really need anymore, instead of going for my structures over here. Those cruisers do try to come through. They get hit by 3 subs, one at a time. This one's not firing, so this is good for me. And now my navy is coming in to try and take out some damage on that. And I'm trying to get rid of some more barracks. Again, I probably should have taken out an extra one, but I'm just trying to free up some extra eco. Both me and Solar are saving up over 1,000 in capital just to see what we can spend it on. And I think what we spend it on is actually what changes this game for the person who wins it. I'm not giving away who does. So he's actually starting to invade this island. He's got quite a lot of forces here. And I don't have any boats to try and reinforce this area anymore. Remember, I sent him off over here. Those helicopters have come back in, but my boat did survive over here. He's trying to grab these units there and trying to send them to this section. I'm expecting to find something there for his and having to take it out. But I still need to go check, so... But either way, he is still reinforcing this island over here. And he is trying to cut across this land. And I don't have enough there to take it out. So I've got 1 unit in the forest there. I don't think the buff is going to be enough to take out all of these. Especially when they're going to be buffed too, because there's a lot of infantry there. And I've got 3 down here, so 4 total on that island. He's bringing in his cruisers there, so I'm going to be able to try and take them out. The submarines are going to block the path if they go too far. The helicopters are still trying to take on my infantry, so I try to place them better. I've got anti-air being constructed now, and they're going to try and join these spots here when I remember to add them. Over on the top island, I'm still expanding there, which is good. He's not there, but he is on this island over here. I can hear some stuff being placed down. I'm not sure what that was. There's a navy yard. Sounded like a few more things, but I can't tell what it was. Oh, it looked like it was me. I'm placing down factories in hopes that this is a small army that I can repel back once they start producing. But as you can see, he's still reinforcing it. He's got 2 lines of boats. 6 boats total. Transporting most of the units he's produced on this island. So relatively his entire force. And I still have 1,000 left over, and he has 1,700 left over. In income, he's on 1,200. I'm on 1,200. I'm slightly above him, actually. So I did manage to actually catch up in eco. So whatever happens next is regardless of whether I actually was hindered by my initial assault. When it comes to eco, anyway. But yeah, so I've got some artillery there, which I was worried more about navy units coming in this way than I was about air units, originally. So I had them doing both. I'm starting to build some air units myself. I'm thinking, if I remember correctly, I go for anti-air, so interceptors, because I'm thinking he's either going to go for carriers, having an advantageous navy position, and he's going to be able to add on some strikers to it, and maybe have airfields defending his island. So I wanted to have something really strong and get somewhere fast to be able to take out anything like that. Yeah, I did hear a rocket. So we got a rocket silo being placed right here. And I do have a plan to get these units across. If I remember correctly, I do start adding boats to these plans. But these guys over here, because there's no boats, they're wasting eco because I don't want to pay their rent. Their wages, I meant. So I take them out. And I'm trying to just make sure I can defend this location. But that might be a bit difficult, to be honest. But either way, I am spreading out across the map. I try and send some anti-air units there. Take out any helicopters that come in. I've got the SAM here protecting it as well. My submarines are coming in to take out his energy supply. And he sends in his helicopters to try and check that out. And his navy is moving in now, but he has no destroyers. But their accumulative vision will help them see me. So my submarines aren't completely south. I try to run back, but I also want to try and keep some navy units there as well. So if I keep some of these going this way, if he detects one group, I'll send them into attack so that he thinks he's got everything. And he doesn't come searching for the rest. That's my logic. I probably could have separated him again to let some get away. That would probably have been my best bet. He's got some strikers coming in now. I was worried when I saw that. I tried to move him out of the way to see if he would spot them. But I don't need to worry too much. I've got 4 SAM units, 2 missile boats. I need to bring them closer though. I take out one straight away. That was lucky. And some more's being produced there. So that's going to help me greatly. And we got one left over, and that one's going to survive. Over in this section of the map, though, I am fighting a losing battle here. Because partly, not completely, I was probably going to lose anyway, this little bit. I forgot to actually send these units on an attack command forward to, you know, be helpful to each other. They just sit there and do nothing with each other. Over on this section though, as he went forward to try and search for my submarines, I managed to actually try and take out one of his navy yards. He's once again bringing out his air units to try and protect it. He's coming in around the back with his navy, and my submarines are going to wait there, but they're actually quite advantageous here. There's quite a few ships here that aren't good against them. The cruisers will likely win this, as long as they can see the submarines. If they can't see the submarines, then I should get an advantage, but I don't think I'm going to be able to take him out fast enough. I honestly can't remember. But as that's going on there, he's distracted with my submarines. I come in down here and take out these reinforcements. But to be fair, he's been reinforcing this island for quite a long time now. But I still have 3 more submarines left. He's got 2 cruisers. I think one of these was an extra one. But yeah, I think I'm going to lose these submarines any second now. Nonetheless, I've got these navy units in, which are going to take out potentially 6 transport boats. And he's going to have to respond to that if he wants to keep sending units in there. But I don't think he necessarily needs to. He's already got a pretty good setup here, and I'm in a bad situation right now. So my trade route's set up nicely though, which I really desperately wanted, and I wanted to make sure I kept this island. I probably should have added some structures on here earlier. Another thing I wanted to do was get a commando unit set up on this and get these barracks, which is another reason why I saved them with commandos, so that you can get transports going in to try and take out any sort of area. I could probably get these airfields, but not much else to be fair. But I could get onto his island with a group of commandos, and that could have given me a good chance to win the game if I had just gone for commandos there. I have enough anti-air, so I probably should have just went with transport jets, started producing commandos again, and seen what chaos I could cause behind the scenes. So over here, although I've got a large navy force here, he's sticking to the fight, partly because submarines are harder to see in the battlefield, so you might think he has more advantageous position than he actually does. Navy units are pretty loud, aren't they? So we've got 3 fronts going on. This missile ship's going to end up losing that fight there. But he is stopping reinforcements coming in a little bit longer, as my units come in and take out this cruiser that's strayed on his own. I think a cruiser for a missile ship is perfectly acceptable. He is bringing in his air units though, which means that missile ship might be more valuable than I thought it was. But cruisers do have anti-air on them, so they could still attack, but they're not very good at it, just kind of like the infantry are. Or kind of like how the SAM still hits ground units, but just not effectively. There we go, so I spotted these. I wanted to try and get to this airfield, because it said I could hit it with a cruiser. So I thought I'd try, and apparently, just because it says that, doesn't mean you actually can. Which is unfortunate, to be honest. Because I could have progressed instead, and he's pretty vulnerable right now. Let's have a quick look at the economy. So, he's got 1,000 saved up, which is pretty good. He's on 1,500 per minute, and I'm on 1,500 per minute. And he's got a rocket coming, and I'm about to lose a trade route, which is not good, because we're about equal right now, so anything lost like this is going to be a major hit to the economy. Luckily, I am having more advantageous battles than he is. My cruiser is fighting this artillery, and if you can reach that artillery, you could have reached this airfield. I'm just saying. So yeah, is there anything else going on over here? Yes. I sent in some units from this boat as I took over this little island. I did send in some infantry from there to here. It was only 4 units, and they managed to take out an energy well for me. I did just miss it, but it did happen recently. Which is kind of helpful. I've taken out 2 of his energy wells. And he has taken out my trade route. Let's see how that affects the economy. So currently he's on 1,500 and I'm now on 1,400. It might not quite have had time to take full effect yet, because it is still saying I've got trade. But as you can see, the trade value says 187, so if you take that off, then I can't work that out, to be honest. There you go. It's doing it for me slowly. I'm on 1,390 at this point. So yeah, I'm pretty much out of commission here. I'm getting a fairly sizable group of submarines though, but he is switching into destroyers. He has seen that and he's responding. And I've got some units up here which is either going to provide as a distraction or is going to help me try and push to keep this island. I haven't seen what's on this island, but I do know he's built something here. So we've got the battles going on up in the top left here. He's kind of confused his navy with some commands here, and I think they've just decided not to go forward. But as you can see, I've got some infantry moving here. He's moving these units this way, which I can see in this section. And I've got one... This area is dedicated to try and take back this island. However, he has a rocket right now, and he is firing it straight over this way. Here it comes, and I have nothing against that right now. And he takes out this town, which takes out a dock as well, and a navy yard. So that's quite a big hit. That's 300, 250, and a, what, £300 navy yard? That's quite good value for what he got. And it's taking away eco from me every minute. Well, every second, because it updates quite fast. But it shows per minute because it's easier. Anyway, I've got quite a good group of infantry now, so they're going to try and push down. And as they do so, these guys are moving away, exposing this area, allowing me to get some units in this side. But at this point, I still don't know this, I don't think. He's got 2 rockets. And he's got helicopters to help defend. I've got a good amount of energy, to be fair, so if I had enough air units, I could try and send them in, but most of it's anti-air. As is a lot of this area here as well, so it would be good if I tried to go for a lot of anti-air and try and stop the rockets. But I was tempted to just try and build rockets myself, take out the rockets, but I wasn't quite sure how to handle the situation. And as you can see, I kind of wanted to check out his base and see how well he's doing. So I have a group up here going around here, and I wanted to try and see what he's got here, or take out this energy well and then move on to the city. If I can keep taking out his energy, he can't fire the rockets. I know I took out this location. If I needed to, I could do it again. I still have the boat here. So I was going to build up some units. Send that across as well if I needed to. And I'm just scouting the area. And these interceptors are very good with their vision. So they're going to help try and take out any air units, as well as spy on what's going on. And at this point, I think I spotted both of these rockets over here. And I have both barracks up and running as well, and this one over here. They're all coming around to try and get to these transports. There isn't much point in building any more transports because I don't have any more ground forces to send in. What I should have done is switched out all my navy production, which is only one to be fair, so no I shouldn't have. Two. For anti-air units, which I do think I did anyway, it just wasn't enough. Over in this section, I've still got some boats transporting some units in. Because this is mountainous terrain, I probably should have tried to wait here. Because this was my best bet, trying to wait till he goes over these slow-moving mountains with some artillery and see what I can do. But he's bringing in helicopters anyway, and I don't really have any anti-air until maybe this is made. I can't tell what that is from this angle. Over here, I move in the submarines protecting this area to try and take out these units here. Up in the north section, west section, I have my submarines moving in with a cruiser trying to take out anything. I don't actually think I witnessed this battle when I was fighting. They got there a bit faster than I could think about it. And yeah, there's quite a lot of structures here. He's even going for some aircraft carriers, which tells me I need to worry about air units as well. A lot more than I was going to beforehand. But as you can see, I've targeted this structure here. I'm sending in interceptors to take out a rocket. You can see how desperate I was during this fight. There are strikers coming in now. But he sent it off already. And not only that, but this rocket here is ready as well. He has more than enough energy to fire that one too. And that rocket's going for my city over here. It's gonna hit it. And now I assume he's gonna send off the other one. But I could be wrong. No, he's gonna leave it for a little bit. Helicopters over here are trying to take out my navy. Even this energy well now is unreliable and exposed. There you go, the second rocket is firing now. And I'm struggling to maintain this choke point, which was kind of the whole point of trying to defend this area. That rocket is going for that city now. One rocket will not take out a city, but two definitely will, I think. There we go. So, with that out of the way, got 1,100 for me left over, and I'm not even sure if that's accurate because it might not quite have updated yet. Up in the north, I do send some units across. However, I decide I'm not going to be as stubborn as I was with a few matches ago, where that guy was getting a bit cocky with me. I could have possibly have won this match, but quite frankly, it's been quite a fun game already, and I didn't want to ruin it with being too stubborn. And I probably would have lost anyway. I could have tried to win, and I did stand a fair chance still, but not a very good one. So, that was my battle against Solar. He's now won one, and I've won one, based pretty much on my prediction. I failed the prediction in this match, and therefore lost the match. I don't think that was quite the whole point there. I think Solar played it really well. But generally speaking, the next match, we'll have to see how that one goes. I do a bit of predicting and maybe a bit of risk management. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you for watching. 2 videos on screen right now. I'll see you there.